Hey, Poppy. Hello, Malta. Hi, John Harvey. Hi, Hunter. Hola, Margarita. Hi, Bitty Apple. Hello. Hello, Julie. Hi, Tabby Ba. Hi, Desi Pink. It won't let me, see, it says it's locked. Orientation locked. Turn your phone back. Blah, blah, blah. So now I'm going to have to, stay like this. Which is, hello, Skylight at Dusk. It's kind of hard because I don't want to fall, right? I don't want to trip over a tree root. Thank you so much. It is very beautiful. We're gonna walk out there because we can, and we're gonna have a discussion. So let me get our discussion started. So welcome if this is your first time here. I'm so excited you're here. I'm looking down at the ground I'm walking on, and I'm not necessarily looking at the phone, but so basically this is the community for adult survivors of adverse childhood experiences who are now living with complex trauma, symptoms of CPTSD, emotional flashbacks, trouble with regulating your emotions, basically feeling low and other than and different and doomed and just a whole bunch of different horrible feelings. And we're going to talk about all that today. And I get these emails from everybody, right? This overarching sort of feeling of, will I ever really belong? Will I ever belong? Will I ever belong, Athena? I feel horrible. I feel like I'm never really going to belong. And these videos obviously are not a replacement for any type of mental health care. I'm just a person who's been healing from my own adverse childhood experiences, living with my own CPTSD symptoms. And I've been healing in sort of on again, off again sort of a way for about 17, 18 years. And so I'm just sort of sharing my journey with you all. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to sit here and we're going to share the journey. We're going to talk. And we're going to look at the ocean. We're going to look at the palm trees. And we're going to try not to trip on these. How gnarly are these big old tree roots? You know what I'm saying? You guys can definitely... Oh, I got a whole crew of people coming. I got to get out of their way. But I don't want to trip and fall. So I'm not really looking at the chat box right now. So if you're saying all kinds of wonderful, awesome, amazing things, I appreciate you. And I will go back and I will listen. And I won't listen. I'll mute myself because I can't stand listening to my own voice. But I'll read everything that you guys have been sharing. And I want to say thank you for being here. And just for choosing to show up for yourself and choosing to heal, right? Reaching out and even clicking on a video means that you're choosing to heal. Ooh, that looks like a really neat little path. Doesn't that look like a neat little path? I think I need different shoes, right? Yeah, we don't have the right shoes on to go down that path. So we're gonna have this discussion. We're gonna talk about, will I ever belong? And where does the message come from, first of all, that we don't belong? Who taught us that? I'll tell you who taught us that. It's people who were less than kind to us, and through words, actions, or withholding of love, they caused us to believe that. You can go ahead of me. I walk a little slower than you.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so So through words, action, or withholding of love, these people who were less than kind and less than loving, they taught us to feel as though we don't belong. We're not welcome in our own bodies. We're not welcome in our own mind, right? And I'm pretty sure the audio is really terrible. Can someone let me know? Oh, the wind is really loud. Okay, let me go ahead. I'll go this way. I'll walk this way. Not as bad. Is the wind better? All right. Well, then let's walk back up where it's not as windy, and then I can have a conversation. Hello. Okay, we're out of the wind tunnel now. So, the people who perpetrated our abuse or enabled our abuse long time ago, over a long period of time, when we couldn't really choose to be somewhere else because we were young, their words, their actions, and their withholding of love caused us to feel as though we don't belong. We're not welcome. Whether it was we weren't welcome in the family because we were the black sheep, or maybe we weren't welcome in our own home because whenever we were in our home, we were treated poorly, or treated other than, treated differently. And so it sort of set the stage for us to spend the rest of our life trying to find ways that we can feel like we belong. And yet that feeling escapes us, right? The feeling escapes us. Because everywhere we go, we feel like we run into people that sort of treat us either similarly to our family of origin, or we find ourselves in workplace situations where we feel like maybe we don't belong. And if the words, "will I ever belong," don't really match up for you, it shows up in different ways. It shows up in, I am flawed, I was born wrong, I'm dirty, I'm gross, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm dumb. It shows up in different ways. And it's a lie. It's not the truth. It's not the truth about us. It's not the truth about who we are. It's just not the truth. You know? What the truth really is, we're going to hike up this hill. That's what we're going to do. That's the truth. That's my old work right there. I used to work there. It's a hotel. So I just want you guys to know that we weren't born wrong. We weren't born flawed. We're not annoying. We're not ugly, gross, disgusting, fat, stupid, or dumb. And we're not other than. We are uniquely gifted. Each of us is an unrepeatable miracle. You're probably sick of me saying that by now because I say it so often. But we are. And I don't have this whole thing figured out. I don't automatically wake up every day and go, life is grand. I'm an unrepeatable miracle. You know, it's not something it's not my factory setting, if you will. My factory setting from the factory I came from is all those other things. I don't belong. Will I ever belong? I was born wrong. I hope I can just make it through the day. I hope I don't mess anything up. I'm so annoying. I'm sure nobody wants to hear my voice because I can't stand the sound of my own voice. We're hiking uphill, guys. Can you tell I'm like a little bit short of breath? Need to get in shape, Athena. So basically, in order for us to disrupt the factory setting, which let's back up because I believe I have misspoken. Our factory setting was actually healthy, strong, and wise. The factory setting from the factory I came from is that I am loved and lovable. I am good. And I'm smart. But shortly after I arrived from the factory, the people who had me from like day one, once I arrived from the factory, fucked it all up somehow. Pardon my language. They planted malware in my hard drive on day one. And that malware is like one of those crazy viruses that duplicates itself and just spreads and spreads and spreads and tries to take over the whole hard drive and just corrupts all the files unless we go in and we remove the malware. And so I'm here to tell you that I really want to wipe the hard drive and go back to my factory setting. And I want to take as many people with me as I possibly can. You know? I didn't know that it was all a lie. I didn't know that it was all some weird virus malware bullshit. I believed the lie. I gobbled that stuff up. I believed it from the time I was really young. Because everywhere I looked, it confirmed the lie. Everywhere I looked, all I saw was confirmation of the lie. That I was fat, ugly, stupid, gross, disgusting, born wrong, deeply flawed, somehow destined to fail at everything and to always feel like an outcast and always feel all alone and other than. You know? So and maybe go for a drive or something. If that way it's not windy. You can actually hear me. Oh, it says I'm not allowed to. Huh. Well, let's see if I can make this happen. I gotta like undo this, turn this, go like this. There we go. All right, let's see if I can make this happen. Hold on. There we go. Whoops. That. Apparently I'm not allowed to do that. We're gonna do it the way that I want to do it. Can you guys still see if I'm like this, or is the camera somehow like keeping you from seeing anything? Because it says orientation is locked. So can you guys still see anything? Yay! I love that you're sideways. Okay, good. So let's see if we can. Whoops. Okay. How about that? Can you hear me still? I think you guys can still hear me. So let's see if I can. How about like that? How about that? How about that? Can you all see? Someone tell me if you can see. I hope you can see. Huh. Oh, you don't want to be sideways because you can't see. Well, well, it's not going to let me do anything here. Let's see. This is probably going to be really annoying for people watching the replay. I might have to delete this video, you guys. I mean, you all are amazing and awesome, but I highly doubt anybody else wants to see this. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if this will work. Whoops. How about that? This isn't really gonna work unless I see it won't. All it's gonna do is just focus on that. Oh, it's still sideways? How the heck is it still sideways? I have it up. This is so ridiculous. Well, I don't know what to do. Okay, I don't want you to look at the mount though. Oh, it's not sideways anymore. What a bummer. Well, I guess we're just gonna sit and chill and just sit in my car. And I wanted to like take you somewhere nice instead of staring at this weird hotel and like you can look at my messy car. Yeah, at my daughter-in-law's birthday gift wrapping paper and my empty Starbucks. So yeah, so basically the factory setting was accurate, and the factory setting was accurate, and all the malware and the viruses were planted by evil warlords that basically are like soulless vampires. And it's just not true, you guys. It's just not true. Let's look at this beautiful tree here. Oops. Here we go. Let's look at a beautiful tree. So, I don't have a, oh, sit it on my dash. Well, I can't now, because if I sit it on my dash, hey James. So, Deborah, we're talking about feeling like we never belong, or like we're never going to belong, like we're born wrong and that we're gross and disgusting and all that. So I can't use my pop socket to sit it on my dash because it will say, turn it back the other way, rotation locked, and everybody will be sideways. So, ooh, I don't know what kind of a tree that is. Hey, James. Oh, you didn't miss much. We went for a walk and it was windy. Yeah, I might have to delete this video though when we're done, because it is like windy and bouncing and disgusting and weird, and like, see all those like messages I have in my head? You know, it like carries over. Not only am I all those things, but like the work I do, and like if everything's not exactly how I want it to be. And it's just a lie, you guys. Oh, Sharon says green is good. It's all white here. Yeah. Hi, Angela. Hello to anyone I haven't greeted by name. Ooh, it's 18 degrees out where Sharon's living. Oh, thank you, Nora. Tabby Boss says, we get to see Hawaii. I know, right? Yeah, but it's like bumpy and, you know. Oh, James says we're hard on ourselves sometimes. We're very hard on ourselves. He says he's hard on himself right before he posts a video. Exactly. Yeah. Welcome, Deborah. So happy to see you. Yeah. Jeffrey Sherman says the factory setting is perfect, but the first owners were just terrible. When we were finally given control of our own lives, we had to do a lot of fixing. We are fixer-uppers. Yeah, yes, we are. Oh, we totally are. Skylight at Dusk says, I feel like I've now gotten comfortable with being different. I feel comfortable in my isolation. I know it's not okay, but it's my safety blanket. You know what? Whoever told you that it's not okay is wrong. Because whatever feels safe to you is okay. And everything is temporary, you know? So please don't listen to anybody that says that it's not okay. If you feel safe and good with what you're doing, then eventually, you know, it doesn't have to be forever. Or it can be. You get to choose. Bit the Apple says, I was just going to commend you on staying cool when frustrated. I would have really got upset at that. I was upset. I was really, really upset. Broken Childhood says, I have to say, just freaking do it when I'm going live. I know, right? Same here. Love you, Ashley. Totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. James says, you sound like an introvert, and that's totally okay. Do what makes you feel safe. Exactly. So how's everybody feeling? I mean, I don't have the Arctic craziness going on here the way a lot of my friends do. A lot of my family are all in like sub-zero weather and sub-freezing weather, and you know, they're struggling. They can't leave the house. Like Vi's got 25 inches of snow, and Matt's got, you know, it's like cold weather out and there's ice and stuff, and then, you know, lots of stuff going on. Jeffrey Sherman says, the bumpy, windy, sideways video makes the perfect metaphor, wouldn't you say? Yes, exactly. Yes, it really is, because life is not only bumpy, windy, and sideways, but life can be just a weird, twisted metaphor sometimes, don't you think? Oh, Hunter says, I was sad earlier because someone unknowingly reminded me of a painful loss. I'm sorry, Survivor Buddy. Like, seriously. That stinks. I'm sorry, Hunter. James says, it's like 34 degrees here, and I love it. I feel calm and peaceful. I like the cold weather also, but my husband hates it because he likes this kind of weather. I like the cold weather. John Harvey says, I'm alive here, but a little cold. Oh, I hope you... I'm sending anyone who's cold, I'm sending you lots of warmth. And anyone who is just right, I'm sending you high fives. Malta says, I'm all right. I'm laying in bed here watching the view of Hawaii. Oh, that's so awesome, Malta. I'm sorry it's freezing in Toronto. I've never been to Toronto, and I've always wanted to go. It's a beautiful city, and I have these acquaintances that I met when I used to work at the hotel I just pointed you guys at when we were walking. And they're like, if you're ever in Toronto, you have to look us up. They were like the sweetest couple ever. They were like, they stayed with us for a couple of weeks, and they were very motherly and fatherly, like in a healthy, good way, you know? Margarita says, lovely view, actually. Thank you, Margarita. Thank you. Tabby Boss says, my sister fell and broke her hip last night. I am over winter. I'm so sorry, Tabby Ba. That stinks. Pixie Painter says, it's wet and windy here in Scotland. My goodness. I'm sorry to hear that. I follow a couple of YouTubers that are from Scotland. And one of them is a painter, actually. Desi Pink says, oi, I had a good day yesterday and got out of the house and did some things. Then I had a breakdown once I got home. Again, makes me feel like I don't even belong in my body, let alone the world. Oh, I've been there. Oh, I've been struggling with that in trauma therapy for a while, you guys, but I've been I've been pressing, you know, I'm like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to continue working through these memories. I'm going to continue working. And I'm finally feeling like a little bit of a breakthrough. So, but it's taken me, gosh, how long now? Oh my word. So I'm sending you lots of love, Desi Pink, and lots of support. Angela says, it was negative 16 degrees here yesterday with nasty wind chills. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that, Angela Anderson. Angela M says, John Harvey, please stay warm. How cold is it where you are? Poppy and I are on the same page. She says it's so hot in Australia that there are brush fires burning all around my house. It's a little intense. I saw those pictures, like seriously. It's very warm here too. Well, actually, it was kind of nice as we were walking. I did break a little bit of a sweat. I did break a little bit of a sweat. It was a little, like, you know, like I was winded, first of all. But it's warm enough outside that me walking and hiking uphill caused me to be like, whew, okay. Like, I'm ready to sit down. You are so welcome, Recovery Buddy. Yeah, John Harvey says, life happens when we make other plans. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Nora says, there's no ice in San Antonio, but it is cold here. Shannon says, hello, Pixie Painter. Hello, Shannon, and hello, Pixie Painter. Wally says, I am decluttering. Skylight at Dusk says, high five. Kira says, hi, Deborah. So glad to hear you're feeling better about yourself. I'm sure you can find ways to help others. I agree. Hi, Kira. Jeffrey says, this video is still beautiful, just like we're still beautiful. I hope you don't take it down. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. I know, I was actually meeting with my team today discussing how these self-care videos, 50% of the people show up and 50% of the replays go away. Like there's several hundred views that don't happen. And so therefore YouTube says my channel sucks. And then usually 50% of the people that are normally here when I'm looking at the camera aren't here because they prefer when I'm looking at the camera. But I've noticed also through the analytics that those aren't really subscribers. Those are people that are just popping by because they see somebody talking. So, yeah. Heroes Don't Wear Capes says there are fires here too, Poppy. We just had some pretty gnarly fires here as well. Hey, Connie. Connie says, hello, everyone. Sharon says, 12 inches of white stuff here. I love snow, but I know it's different when you have to, like, scrape your windshield and do all the kind of stuff, you know? James says, ooh, I'd love to go to Scotland. It looks so beautiful. I know, same here, seriously. Oh my gosh, it would be amazing. Malta says, hi, Connie. Shannon says, hi, Connie. Angela Anderson says, after a very hard day, I had a nap with my kitties, and now I'm listening and chatting with all of you and working on starting a crochet blanket. Oh, that's so awesome. I miss crocheting. I used to crochet a lot. Deborah says, hi, Kira. Yes, CPT has been helping me a lot. It is just very intense and I can't be there for anyone else while I'm doing it. Yeah, that's hard. That is hard. I have a hard time when I'm having a really rough time in trauma therapy. I have trauma therapy on Fridays. I work Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And so by the time I get to Mondays and I'm here, either my voice is gone and I'm feeling really like emotionally and physically drained. Sorry, I'm yawning in your face. Um, and it's just like, it's just a hard thing when you're working through a lot in trauma therapy, you know. It's really, really, really hard. Connie says, it's been like the deep freeze here. I would rather have it cool than really hot, though. Same here. I'd rather be cold than hot. Pixie Painter says, aw, thank you, Athena. I'm an actual painter, too. It helps me so much to be creative. Ooh, I might have to consult with you. I'm starting, like, what I'm going to be doing on these Mondays coming up in a few months. I'm going to have the camera pointed down, and I'm going to hang out live with everybody, but I'm going to be doing art journaling, and anyone is welcome to join me. And then what I'm going to do is take that video down, and then I'm going to add music, an intro and an outro, and allow people to listen to nice music and just watch something creative come to life, and do the speed up footage, you know, where you speed it up and it goes a little bit faster than it would have previously. Like, I'm going to be doing that. I'm doing that. In a few months, we're going to start doing that together here on Monday nights. I'm so excited. I have already got all the supplies ready, and I'm reorganizing my office so that I can share those moments with you guys and just spend time feeding my soul and hanging out with you. So, you know what I mean? Tracy says, oh wait, Kira says, James, in the low 30s here too. Beautiful snow-covered trees, very quiet and peaceful. And Broken Childhood says, we have had 45 degrees Fahrenheit to 65-ish weeks lately. Ooh, I love that. It's like the perfect weather. Oh, seriously. Tracy says, why are people still trying to control me even though I have stopped contact? It's making me crazy. Because it's worked previously, Tracy. They're only doing what has worked previously. They're like, this normally works. I will try this. And since it's not working, they're going to continue bugging you. But if you are determined to go low contact or no contact, good for you. If you've deemed them toxic in your life and not a good place for you to spend time, you know, hanging out with. So good for you, Tracy. Way to have healthy boundaries. I just am grateful that you're doing that for yourself. Tabby Boss says, I am thankful she was able to call me. She fell outside in 3-degree weather. Oh my goodness. Tabby Boss, I'm so sorry. It's your sister, right? Oh, I'm sending your sister so many healing prayers and warmth and comfort, because that has to, I mean, seriously, when you fall down and you break something, oh, it's terrifying, you guys. John Harvey says, Poppy, come on over. It's cold enough for you here. Yeah, because it's hot in Australia and it's not hot where John Harvey is. I think John Harvey is in the southern United States. Margarita says, I am snowed in and freezing right now. Oh, Margarita, I'm so sorry you're freezing. Oh, I'm so sorry you're freezing. I'm sending you lots of warm, safe hugs if you want them, but no need to accept them if you're not a hugger. Margarita says, but I'm feeling much better since I started doing this unblending from younger parts thing with structural dissociation model. Anyone done it before? Ooh, that's awesome. I do something similar with my trauma therapist because I have younger parts, but I'm not doing the structural dissociation model. We use a lot of IFS. We're using somatic experiencing, EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, along with trauma-sensitive cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavior therapy techniques as well. And just also some very basic, like CBT, like motivational interviewing type of a thing, and affirmations and safe place imagery, and journaling and some expressive modalities. And then there's this thing that she's been doing a couple of times called a sound bath. And there are these sound bowls, and it really is like my younger parts must love it or something, because I I like literally end up in tears, and like in a really good way. It's amazing, like seriously amazing. Hi, Nexus. Nexus says, I wish I could belong to someone. It's difficult to accept belonging within yourself. It is so hard, especially for when, you know, especially when we were born into a situation where we were told very untrue things about ourselves, and they cause us to feel as though we don't belong in our bodies, we don't belong in our families, we don't belong in our home, we don't belong at school, we don't belong. We just feel like we don't belong. But it's a lie, and it is possible to heal and feel better. It just takes a long time, you know? Stuart says, thank you, Athena, for your kind words last live chat. You're so welcome, Stuart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for you. It does look like a weeping willow, right? It's a little bit different though. Like I checked in to see if we have like weeping willows here in Hawaii, and there's something that looks very similar to it. I don't know, it doesn't have the same branches. Like it's like I remember weeping willow branches, and they're different branches, Shannon, but it does look like a weeping willow, and I think that's why I like it so much. I really don't know says, I'm such a loser and a reject, always have been. Fought hard to not be useless, fought hard to believe otherwise. My whole life, people have continually let me down. I don't belong. Oh, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that people taught you that. That's a lie. I know that that you've been struggling with that and that you're fighting hard to believe otherwise, but you weren't born a loser and you weren't born a reject. And you weren't born useless, and you just weren't. You weren't born in a way that makes you not belong. Those are all lies that were told to you by people who were less than loving. Their words, actions, and withholding of love taught you lies about yourself, and it's really difficult to change that and move past that and to learn something different about ourselves. You know, it's really hard. Baby Mojito says, the weather is nice here. I'm learning to take one day at a time and enjoy whatever peace and joy I can, even though it's still uncomfortable sometimes. That's awesome. It is really uncomfortable sometimes, but if we do take one day at a time, it does help, you know? Heroes Don't Wear Capes says, it's hard to feel like I belong when I am in a constant state of chaos. I feel I cause it all the time. Nothing goes smoothly. Not housing, not employment, not relationships, not recovery. It's crazy. I'm so sorry, Heroes Don't Wear Capes, that you're feeling that way. What I've noticed about myself, Heroes Don't Wear Capes, is when I start using words like constant and all the time and nothing and never and always and all of that, those are polarity words. Like they're either high, high, high or low, low, low. And the type of thinking and the area of our brain that is being utilized when we use polarities is a very young part in us. It's like a younger part that's showing up and voicing what they're feeling. And so, as you choose, Heroes Don't Wear Capes, to move through some inner child work and to heal some memories that may be surfacing, you know, over the next weeks, months, and years, as you work through those and you work with a trauma-informed therapist, then the chaos that you feel that you're constantly in the middle of and feeling like you caused the chaos, and you feel like it's like that all the time and nothing goes smoothly and all of that, those types of things blend into the background, and they are less prevalent, and sometimes they even disappear completely as we do our inner child work. So the more I work on inner child work, the less I feel the way you described, because I could have written every word that you wrote. You know, I felt like I was in a constant state of chaos and it was all my fault and I caused it and nothing was going smoothly in my housing situation, my employment and my relationships, my recovery. Like, I just felt like a total shit show. I mean, it was like, really? Like, what in the world? Um, you know, I mean, but as I decided to not give up and worked on inner child work, like, I started feeling like that less and less and less. It's really hard, though, without a trauma-informed therapist. Really, really hard. Oh, Pixie Painter. Pixie Painter says that this is the best channel on YouTube. Well, my goodness. I want to say thank you because I don't even think this is the best channel on YouTube, and I'm the one running the channel. So that's a very kind thing for you to say. I will try to receive that compliment. And I am working towards improving our channel as much as I possibly can on a regular basis. I want it to get better and better, and I always want to be improving, you know? Jeffrey Sherman says, Desi Pink, it is the same here in Louisiana. It is currently 33 degrees, and last week it was in the 70s. Skylight at Dusk says, some of the content can be edited and kept for a bit of video about belonging or other topics that we touched on. That's true. I don't have to discard the whole video. Hunter said, when I first got memories, I felt so dirty and scared, and I wanted to transfer my consciousness into an android body that couldn't be assaulted. I think that's a fair thing to want. I mean, I don't know about any of you, but I have often felt like I wished I could just sort of like, you know, be inside of a movie or a video game or something, and that way I couldn't be assaulted by anyone or hurt by anyone. Um, that sounds like a very fair thing to want. Oh, Tabby Boss says, thank you to everyone. Her sister is on the mend. She had surgery today. That's awesome. Tabby Ba, I'm praying that her surgery is a total success and that she recovers her mobility. Cynthia says, I'm sorry, I really don't know. Me, all, and have I fought? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm saying that wrong. I'm not sure what that is. But I want to say hello to Cynthia. It's wonderful to see you, Cynthia. I normally only catch your comments in the comment section, like on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, like when I'm trying to respond and like, you know, catch up on emails and stuff. So it's wonderful to have you here live, Cynthia. I'm really happy you're here. Heroes Don't Wear Capes says, I hear you. I really don't know. I feel the same. I'm sorry. Cynthia says, thank you, Shannon. Margarita says, Hunter, I can so relate. Tabby Boss says, I go to sleep for a couple hours after therapy. Oh my gosh, me too. Sometimes I have to literally come home and just like take a nap. I can't even, like, I literally just can't even do anything. I can't function. Poppy says, can't wait for art journaling. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm seriously setting up my desk and like, I have to get like a special little tripod thingy that will angle the phone down at the page and like not move and be bouncy, like so it'll just stay still. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, it's not art therapy, but it is like therapeutic art journaling because art therapy is by a licensed clinician who is like certified and licensed, like usually trauma informed, and you know, they have different credentials, but it's therapeutic art journaling. I'm really excited about it. Thank you, Skylight at Dusk, so much. I'm looking forward to it also. John Harvey says, in my older age, I'm not sure I want to belong, to be around people, and can see the so-called normal people have more problems than I do. You know what? It's so funny you should say that. I had that conversation with my husband the other day. You know? Like, yeah, I've been through a lot, and I've been on the struggle bus for years and years, headed to Nowhereville, but man, I've worked a lot on myself, and I feel like I am gonna be, you know, doing really good and when I get to my 50s and 60s and 70s and all of that, if I make it that old, you know what I'm saying? Nexus says, it might be nice to see what art journaling is, as I cannot even think of ideas of where to start. Oh, that would be so cool. Well, every single week we'll have a journal prompt, and um, we'll just go for it, right? And there, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just get to hang out, and everybody can just hang out together. And they're going to be longer videos too, like, so no pressure to stay the whole time. It's not going to all happen in an hour. Like, it'll probably take a lot longer. Oh, Nexus, I don't really have a lot of talent in art either. Trust me. I'm just going to be playing and doing what I've learned. So Deborah says, so how does one feel like they belong? Well, that's a good question, Deborah. So I was hoping someone would ask this question. And so I'm going to pause. I'm going to step away from reading any of the comments, and I'm going to answer Deborah's question. How does one feel like they belong? So this is my answer. I sat with my husband the other day, and I asked him, I said, I get a lot of emails, and I get a lot of messages from people, and um, there's a lot of, the common theme of people feel like they're annoying, that nobody wants to be around them. They're like a burden, and they just feel like they're a reject, and like they've just been like unwanted. And like I was told from a very young age, my mom would want to get rid of me. She would give me to her family, her brothers and her sisters, and then horrible things would happen to me. And she would give me to people and trade me for goods and services. And like she would tell me, like, I wished I would have had an abortion. I knew I should have had an abortion. And, like, like for my husband to like understand and know that like that's my reality, like it's really hard for him, because he sits there and he listens to me and he's like, it sounds like there are a lot of people in your community that feel like they're never, like they're, like you said, like how you describe it, as feeling like you're other than. And how you said, like, when you travel, you love to travel so much because you're surrounded by so many people and you don't feel other than. And I shared with him, I said, I get a lot of videos of like, I feel dirty. I feel gross. I was born wrong. I feel like a reject. I feel like an outcast. I feel like no one wants me. No one's ever wanted me. No one loves me. I'm unlovable. I do life wrong. I show up wrong. My face is wrong. My body's wrong. I was just born wrong. Everything's wrong. I'm gross, ugly, stupid, disgusting. Like all the words that I get, right? And like it's just and my husband was saying, he was reflecting back to me, which he doesn't often do, but he was, right? And I asked him about his reality. I said, did you ever feel like you just didn't belong? Like, did you ever have bullies and stuff? And he's like, yeah, there were bullies, but I had lots of friends, so I didn't really care about the bullies. And I'm like, but did you ever feel like maybe like you didn't belong, or that you just were like an outcast or a reject? Because like my husband, he had a speech impediment. He wore thick glasses. He has a shallow hip socket, so he walks with a limp. He was taken out of sports at a very young age. Like there were a lot of bullyable things. Like bullies could be like, attracted to that, to like want to, exploit his weaknesses and his differences and his other than-ness. But he had such a solid sense of self, Deborah, such a deep knowing that he was loved and cared for, and that he was special and smart and kind, and that he was good. And he had been, I mean, 100% of his life, he has been loved and cared for. And he had his basic needs met: food, shelter, clothing, love, approval, kindness, acceptance. That has always been his reality from day one, from the moment he was born. He had an older brother. He had a younger sister. He still has an older brother and a younger sister. I don't know why I was speaking in the past tense. It was a past participle. I have no idea. I'm going to be my own grammar Nazi here, but I asked him, did you ever feel like you just didn't belong because you were different than other kids, because not everybody wore glasses, or not everybody talked like you, or not everybody walked like you? And he's like, not really. I mean, it's just the most nonchalant thing in the world for him. It doesn't even register. It seriously doesn't even register for him. He doesn't even have any frame of reference of what it is like to feel pain in every cell of his body. Everything is just pain and hurt and a lack of love and a lack of acceptance. And everything is harsh and horrible and scary and filled with terror. And he doesn't even know what it's like to go hungry, or to just feel like no matter what he does, he's wrong. And just breathing is painful. Being alive is painful. He doesn't know what it's like to feel lost, like he has no purpose. He doesn't know what it's like to feel like he's floating through life with no direction, wondering if he's ever going to be accepted or loved. He doesn't know what it's like to just feel sad or desolate or alone or in pain or traumatized or afraid. He doesn't have any of that. Zero. He has no frame of reference. If I asked him, which I've asked him, whenever I ask him, does this even, do you even get it? And he's just like, not really, but I love you and I want to get it. And I'm like, no, 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 no. No, I don't want you to get it. I'm so glad that you don't, get it. It's just, I'm glad he doesn't get it, right? I'm glad that he doesn't get it. But at the same time, it's it would be nice if just for 1 minute, he would be like, oh, I know what that feels like. I'm so sorry. Empathy is not something that my husband has for my situation. My husband has tremendous compassion for me, but zero empathy, because it seriously doesn't even register. It's on the negative scale for him. His parents are still alive. They love each other. They've been married for 65 years. 65 years married. They still hold hands, and they still have the house that he was born and raised in. They still live in Marshall, Minnesota, in the little street. And, I don't know. It's just there's so much love in his family. His sister is just so kind and loving and sweet, and again, no frame of reference. And his brother is just so welcoming and hospitable and generous. And And his dad gives really good advice, and he's like, a good dad, you know? So yeah, that's like that's what it means to feel like you belong, Deborah. But the cool thing is that the cool thing is when we look at the two polarities of like what we were born with and the hand we were dealt, for lack of a better phrase, and then like for instance people with like my husband who have had all their basic needs met, love, acceptance, approval, food, shelter, clothing, and they've had a good enough life with good enough parents and a good enough family. When we compare the two, we see the reality of what it is that we've survived, and then we can sort of reverse engineer it, and we can create. That's why we have this family, 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 friendly family of choice. That's why we have this place. You know, that's why. Because once we realize that the horrible feelings we have about ourselves came from somewhere, then we can know that they're not true and that there is hope and a possibility that we will be able to find love and acceptance within ourselves and within the context of safe community, which is what we do here every week. So I'm really grateful just that we get a chance to hang out, and I hope that you guys do like it when I start doing the therapeutic art journaling and all the stuff. There's this car right here that like just hit something, and I hope that they're not going to hit me too, because they just hit something and now they're driving away. Oh, you're so welcome, Deborah. Yeah. Kira, oh my gosh. Kira says my narcissistic dad used to tell me that one day someone was going to punch me right in the face because I used to practice finding my voice around him. I am so sorry he said that to you. My dad used to pretend that he was punching me in the face. And like he would sometimes get really, really, really close. And sometimes he would accidentally hit me, but not hard. And he was just really a bully sometimes. And I'm just so sorry that you experienced that as well, Kira, because I know that pain. And I'm really, really sorry that you experienced that, because you didn't deserve that, Kira. My goodness. Yeah, Poppy. Family. Woo woo. Yeah, Desi Pink's gonna bust his ass. Seriously. Oh, you guys, we're over time. You know what I can try to do? It's not gonna work. But I'm on this little side street, so hold on. 1 second. Hold, please. 1 second. Here we go. Okay. So let's turn the radio off, shall we? So the audio is probably different because I think my car just put me onto some Bluetooth, like internal microphone type of a situation. So we're gonna back up and we're gonna drive down this little side street. So there's the old hotel I used to work at. Oh, there, now you can see it. I used to work there. Right there. You can't really see it, but that's where I used to work. So we're going to drive down this little side street here. And let me see, maybe I can go like this. Hey, see, look at this little mommy daughter right here. They're running together. Like my family, not one person in my family has ever exercised a day in their life except for my 2 adopted cousins because they're adopted. But how sweet is this little mother-daughter here? Like seriously? Oh my gosh. Can you even? Oh, it's like so cute. So we're just cruising on this little side street.